Today is actually Michael Jackson's birthday. He would have been 66 years old today. Now, I know that some of you guys are having flashbacks to your childhood, thinking about all that Michael Jackson and his music meant to you. But a great many more of you are perhaps thinking, but Candace, wasn't he a The media, man, it is one hell of an entity. It really can have you thinking that the bad people are good and the good people are bad. So today, I am going to tell you the true story of what happened to Michael Jackson. Growing up in a black household, I will tell you, Michael Jackson is just required viewing. And he was nothing but adored. I mean, from his relationship with Princess Diana, Michael was everywhere. And it was just agreed that there would never be a talent like Michael Jackson. But then something happened in 1993, something very unusual given the fact that this was a man that was in the spotlight so much. It was in 1993 that the very first allegation came against him, made from a screenwriter in the industry. He was both a screenwriter and a dentist named Dr. Evan Chandler, who was based in Los Angeles. And his accusation was that Jackson had his 13-year-old son, Jordan. Horrific. Now, how this came about was that Jordan told his psychiatrist that Jackson had molested him. And then the LAPD began a criminal investigation. But the investigation actually found no physical evidence against Jackson, and it was closed. The case was closed less than 1 year later. Now, that should have stopped the media from reporting on it. Michael Jackson wasn't guilty, but we know the media has never let facts get in the way of them having a good time. They broke the allegations worldwide, which led Michael Jackson to cancel the second leg of his Dangerous World Tour in August of that same year. And he cited health issues, health problems that were stemming from the stress of the entire scandal. And do you want to know what actually added to the stress? This is actually horrific. His sister, LaToya Jackson, came right out and she said, yup, Michael Jackson is a But then something weird happened. She didn't provide any evidence. She didn't even attach that statement to a story. And when people prodded her about that, why did you say your brother is a she admitted that it was her husband who had forced her to make that statement. Now, it's very strange. Who is LaToya Jackson's husband? Well, here's a photo of her with him. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. Like Dr. Evan Chandler, this man is Jewish. I'm going to tell you why that matters as we get more into the Michael Jackson story. Her husband is a Jewish Russian immigrant, it says. His name used to be Jack Leon Gordon, and he then changed his name, also changed where he said he was born. He claimed that Las Vegas was his birthplace until he changed his name in 1981 to Samuel Isaac Gordon. And then he changed his name again in 1983 to Clifford William Johnson. And then he said he was born in Springfield, Massachusetts. Okay, this is all getting really weird. Why is this person changing his name so many times? And why is he pushing his wife to say that her brother is a I think that's at least what LaToya Jackson said. And the story is going to get even stranger and stranger, making me think that we should maybe go back and re-examine his relationship, Michael Jackson's relationship, and with young Jordan and how these allegations came about. Take a listen to Dr. Evan Chandler, the dentist, in his own words.
This attorney I found, I interviewed several, and I picked the nastiest son of a bitch I could find. Once I make that phone call, this guy is just going to destroy everybody in sight. Any devious, nasty, cruel way that he can do it. And I've given him full authority to do that. It'll be a massacre if I don't get what I want. If I go through with this, I win big time. I will get everything I want, and they will be destroyed forever. They will be destroyed. June is going to lose Jordy. She will have no right to ever see him again.
Yeah.
That's a fact, Dave. That's what's
Does that help?
Michael's career will be over.
Does that help Jordy?
Michael's career will be over.
And does that help Jordy?
It's irrelevant to me.
Oh, whether or not this helps his son is irrelevant to him. That man sounds like he is on a warpath. And if you want an even crazier update, Evan Chandler, the person who started this initial allegation, he's no longer with us because he was he committed in November of 2009, just 5 months after Michael Jackson was overdosed. Yeah, Evan Chandler shot himself in the head. There were absolutely no witnesses. There was no note. And he was found by his building concierge. That's just a fun little update for you. There were no more allegations against Michael Jackson, until almost 10 years later, when suddenly there was an explosion of allegations against Michael Jackson. And I want you to remember that year, 2003 is when it began. It began when a boy named Gavin Arvizo accused Michael Jackson of child abuse, saying that he was under 14 at the time of the alleged crime. The singer was then charged because of this allegation with 7 counts of child and 2 counts of administering an intoxicating agent. What does the public actually remember from that time? What do you remember from that time? Well, we remember that Michael Jackson was wacko jacko, that he was crazy, that he was addicted to drugs, whatever his doctor was injecting him with. Here are just some of the headlines: wacko jacko, backo jacko, sex raid, wacko jacko, jacko on the attacko. I mean, this is like seared into my memory. I'm sure it's seared into your memory as well. This is what I remember. And I also remember that he was anti-Semitic. Yeah, there were headlines calling him an anti-Semite, saying that he hated Jews. It was then revealed that Michael Jackson kept an enemy list on which he had Tommy Mottola, along with, I'm not kidding you guys, Rabbi Shmuley. Yes, that Rabbi Shmuley. He had him on this list, and Rabbi Shmuley then, after Michael Jackson died, then released recordings of him that he said Michael Jackson definitely wanted him to do, even though he was on this list for Michael Jackson. He had a list of Jews who he said were trying to ruin his life. But we don't really remember that part. We don't remember even that Michael Jackson, despite all of those media headlines and being accused of being a he actually won his case. Yeah, despite 10 years of investigation, no proof was ever actually produced. Michael Jackson was acquitted on all counts on June 13th, 2005. But of course, despite the fact that a jury acquitted him, despite the fact that the pop star had been vindicated in a courtroom, we know that's all about the media. It's all about what the media writes. The media tells you what a person is, irrespective of whether or not they have any evidence of whether the person is, in fact, what they say he is. That's the power of the mainstream media. Michael Jackson had the courage to call out how record companies cheat their artists. He wanted to stand up for the small guys and say, we cannot allow these sorts of things to go on anymore. Take a listen.
Record companies really, really do conspire against their artists. They steal, they cheat, they do whatever they can, especially the black artists. Sony, Tommy Mottola. Tommy Mottola is the president of the record division. He is a mean, he's a racist, and he's very, very, very devilish.
That clip was from 2002. His declaration of war on the industry of people who he was alleging was intentionally stealing and selling artists short, and who he no longer wanted to work with because he wanted to be a free agent. He wanted nothing to do with these people, and he was winning. At least he was winning it in the courtroom. But as I said, the courtroom doesn't dictate wins, does it? In that measure, everything that he was doing was really all in vain, because he is now remembered as Wacko Jacko, title that was created for him in the mainstream media that really hurt him. In fact, he sat down with Barbara Walters and spoke about how much that name hurt him. Take a listen.
You should not say he's an animal. Should not say he's Jacko. I'm not a Jacko. I'm Jackson. I have a heart and I have feelings. I feel that when you do that to me. It's not nice.
After the trial, Michael Jackson stepped away from the spotlight, and then it was reported, because having fought all of these lawsuits, that he was on the brink of bankruptcy. I want you to think about that. I want you to think of a person who once sold 70 million records, made Sony extremely rich, that at the end of his life, he was on the verge of bankruptcy and had faced closure on his Neverland ranch. And he never did, by the way, return back to Neverland. In 2009, he announced that he was going to put together some comeback concerts, and there were rumors about his financial situation, but the concerts never came to pass because, well, we know